محمد صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، سيدي وحبيبي ونور قلبي، طب القلوب ودوائها، وعافية الأبدان وشفائها، ونور الأبصار وضيائها، أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الهاديين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. قال الله العلي العظيم في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ذلك الذي يبشر الله به عباده الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات. قل لا أسألكم عليه أجرا إلا المودة في القربى، ومن يقترف حسنة نزد له فيها حسنا، إن الله غفور شكور. صدق الله العلي العظيم. اللهم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصابنا بالزهراء عليها أفضل الصلاة والسلام. May the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you the greatest reward for mourning on the martyrdom occasion of Zahra alayha afdalu salati wassalam. Allahumma salli. May the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant to all of us the shafa'ah of Zahra on the day of Ayaame, inshaAllah. Tonight, our topic is Zahra in the Quran. Is there anywhere in the Quran Fatimah al-Zahra is mentioned and meant by Allah that this is about Zahra alayhi salam? That is the topic that we're going to discuss tonight as we are commemorating the martyrdom anniversary of this great woman that Allah ever created since this universe came to existence. But the question that many times people ask, especially to our youth, why are you emphasizing that much about Ahlul-bayt alayhim salam, especially Zahra? Is there any verse in the Quran where Allah said this is about Zahra and how important Zahra could be? If there is, what is the surah? What is the ayah in the Quran? If not, then what is the reason why you are emphasizing so much about her? That is the topic that we want to discuss tonight, so that we have a clarity about Zahra alayha salam. And when I talk about Zahra from the Quran, I'm not talking about from the Shia perspective. No. I'm talking about the Muslims generally. Meaning the ayahs that both Ahlul Sunnah and Jama'ah and also Ahlul-bayt alayhim salam, all together came to agree that this verse is really about Zahra alayhi salam. With the references, so that tomorrow somebody doesn't say, oh, it's just about the Shia. No, 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 this is about Ahlul-bayt, it's about Allah and all Muslims. But before we go to the verses, one important message people need to understand. It's not going to be possible for Allah in the Quran mention other prophet and not to mention Ahlul-bayt alayhim salam. Because Quran talks about many families of other prophets who are even less important compared to the family of the prophet. How can it be possible for Allah to mention other families of other prophets who are less important compared to Ahlul-bayt and not mention Ahlul-bayt alayhim salam? One example, many of those in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about other families. One of them, Al-Imran. There's a surah named after the family of Imran. Now Imran, there are disputes among the Mufassirin whether he was a prophet or not. But even if we understood or took it that he was a prophet, but every Muslim agreed that Imran is not as the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma salli. But Allah talks about him, Al-Imran. In some ayahs, Allah says, Inna Allah astafa Adama wa Nuhan wa ala Imran ala al-alamin. Not only that, Allah talks about great prophet too, like Musa alayhi salam. He said, Mimma taraka alu Musa. Allah talks about the family of Dawood. I'malu ala Dawood shukra. Not only that, Allah talks about the family of other prophets like Ibrahim alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about many prophets. Do you think Allah would not talk about the family of Rasulullah? Of course, yes, he would. If yes, where did Allah talk about Zahra specifically? By Mufassirin mention that this verse is about Zahra alayhi salam. The ayah we started can be found in Surah Al-Shura, verse 23. Surah Al-Shura, ayah 23. And بإجماع المفسرين, with the agreement of Mufassirin, Sunnatan wa Shi'atan, they all agreed that this verse was revealed in Medina. And not only was it revealed in Medina, it has what we call Sababun Nuzul. Why it was revealed. Ya Mufassirin, why was it revealed? They said there was a time after the Prophet moved to Medina, settled in Medina, and Islam started to grow. Islam started to gain its strength more than ever before. And the Muslims, they looked their life before Rasulullah and after Rasulullah, and they can see how much they have progressed with the coming of the Prophet to Medina. They look back, they look their life, and they see how low they used to live, and they look today, and they see how much they have grown spiritually, physically, knowledge-wise, number-wise, financially, all of that, they have grown. And they can see the differences. And what was their life before? If you want to know where they were and how the Prophet changed and raised them to that level, go to the Quran. Quran tells you. And Zahra alayhi salam, in her khutbah, she tells you too. Ya Quran, how were they used to be before Islam? Quran says they used to bury their daughters alive. وَإِذَا الْمَوْءُودَةُ سُئِلَتْ بِأَيِّ ذَنْبٍ قُتِلَتْ. That was the custom. Prior to Islam, they used to bury their daughters alive. And was the normal custom back in those days. Who came and changed that? To look at their daughters with the eyes of respect and honor them and protect them. It's Rasulullah. Not only that, Another custom was very, very common prior to Islam was alcohol. Alcohol was a very, very normal in that society. And that's why even when Islam came, Islam couldn't even forbid alcohol at once. Islam have to take them stages. And the early stage of Islam, Islam told them, you say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, drink your alcohol and you're still good. That tells you how worse the situation was at that time. And they used to come and accept Islam. And then go back and drink the alcohol. Then the next phase came where Islam told them, no, now salat has been prescribed. Now you have to pray. Yes, but here is the situation. Make sure that you gauge your drinking process to make sure that by the time the Salatul Dhuhr is called, you're sober. Quran says, لا تقربوا الصلاة وأنتم سكارى. Don't come to Salah while you are drunk. Why? Quran tells you the reason. I say, حتى تعلموا ما تقولون. So that you're aware about what you're saying. The peers, many of them, they come to Salah, they don't even know what they're saying in the Salah. That was that situation. That stage put a lot of them to start thinking more about alcohol. Some of them, they started to stop drinking at that moment. Some of them, they started to limit their drinking. After some time, another ayah came. إنما الخمر والميسر والأنصاب والأزلام رجس من عمل الشيطان فاجتنبوه. Now, Allah says that all of this custom that you have, gambling, alcohol, Allah said all of this is forbidden. Then, a lot of them start becoming, okay, now we have to stop. That was the situation back in those days. Who changed that? Rasulullah. So looking back their life and looking now where they are, they realized the change in their life. Now what did they do? They decided among themselves, they said, look, this man called Rasulullah deserves us to appreciate his offer and his sacrifice. So how are you going to show how are you going to show your appreciation? They said, look, Ya Rasulullah, we are coming to you with all our money that we have, and we're going to put it in front of you. Take whatever you want. If you want to take all of it, take it. If you want to take all of it, take it. It's all yours. They came to Rasulullah with a bunch of their money. And I say, Ya Rasulullah, this is to show you how much we appreciate you and your service. Ya Rasulullah, this is our wealth. Take whatever you want. You know, Rasulullah being the messenger of Allah, لا ينطق عن الهوى إن هو إلا وحي يوحى. What should I say? Should I take it? Should I leave it? Waiting for the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya Allah, what should I do? Take the money? Leave it? Say what? Immediately Jibreel came at that moment with this verse in Surah Al-Shura, verse 23, telling Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, Kul. Tell them, those who came to you with this offer. La as'alukum alayhi ajra. Whatever I have done of teaching, guiding, sacrifice, all of that, you're Muslim, I don't want any reward from you. Now, how much can you pay Rasulullah for his sacrifice, for his guidance, for his teaching, even being among you? How much can you pay? There's no amount of money you can put to be worth of his existence among you. No, his teachings. So no money to compare Rasulullah for whatever he has done. Ya Rasulullah, tell them that. However, illa in Arabic is called adatul istithna or harful istithna, except al-mawaddata fil qurba. Allahumma salli ala. That's the only thing I expect. Al-mawadda al-qurba. To love whom? To love my family. Ya Rasulullah, your family is big. There are good, there are bad of them too. Ya Rasulullah, can we love all of them? Here is where the tafsir comes in. Tafsir of Muslims, they said when this verse was revealed, the companions take him to Rasulullah. Ya Rasulullah, we heard what Allah told us to do. Mawadda fil qurba. But the question is, Ya Rasulullah, man hum? Who are those? قرابتك الذين أوجب الله علينا مودتهم. Who are those people? Allah told us to love them and obey them. Because we cannot just take everybody. Because they're our family. Who are those? Ya Rasulullah, tell us. Now here the first answer comes from one of the scholars of Ahl-Sunnah wal Jama'ah. It's known as Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani in his book called As-Sawa'iq al-Muhriqa. Scholar from Ahl-Sunnah wal Jama'ah. It's not a Shia. Sunni, alim. His book is called As-Sawa'iq al-Muhriqa. It's very known. What did he say? He said, when this surah or this ayah was revealed, they asked Rasulullah, Man hum qarabat? Who are those family? Then Rasulullah said, those individuals, Allah asked me to tell you to love them and obey them. They are hum. I say, Aliyun wa Fatima wa ibnahuma. It's Ali and Fatima and their two sons, Al-Imam Al-Hasan and Hussein alayhi salam. That's exactly what the Shia say too. So something new, huh? As-Sawa'iq al-Muhriqa. I said, that is what the Rasulullah said. These are my family Allah wants you to love and obey. Good. Is there any other books? Of course there is more. Who are they? The second Mufassir, very well known in the Muslim world, was Sunnah and Shia. Also read this book and they benefit from his tafsir. And it's known as Tafsir Ad-Durr al-Manthur by a scholar known Jalaluddin al-Suyuti. Very known. Those who read tafsir of Allama Tabatabai, he quotes him a lot. And other Mufassirin as well. And his tafsir, what did he say about qurba? Who are the qurba of Ahlul-bayt? Who are those? Is it anybody else? Because amazing, some Mufassirin, they said qurba means all the Quraysh. Everyone who's Quraysh is qurba. Now, okay, if that is the case, Abu Lahab is part of the Quraysh too. So they have to love Abu Lahab, which Allah tells us in the Quran, Tabbat yada abi lahabin wa tab. They say everybody, love everybody. But from the tafsir of the right scholars, they say, no. Rasulullah specified those individuals. That when he says qurba, he said, these are the individuals. Ya tafsir al-Suyuti, Durr al-Manthur. Who are the qaraba of Allah and the Prophet that Allah wants us to love them? They said, I'll tell you, when they asked Rasulullah, and many of them they quoted whom? Ibn Abbas. It's one of the reliable scholars, reliable Mufassirin of Quran. They asked him, and he said, I was at the time where this question was posted to Rasulullah, and Rasulullah says, this qurba ahum are Aliyun and Fatima and Hassan and Hussein alayhim as-salam. There is the second Mufassir of Muslims from the Muslim scholars who say the Ayatul Qurba is about Zahra alayhi salam. That is tafsir number 2. Tafsir number 3, not only that, but tafsir al-Kabir, Fakhr al-Razi, one of the great Mufassirin of Muslims, also said the same thing. That al-Qurba, one of them is Fatima al-Zahra alayha afdalu salatu wassalam. And that is one of the ayahs of the Quran that specifically the name of Zahra is mentioned, that Allah meant Zahra in this verse. Tafsir number 2 from the Quran is Ayat al-Tathir, which is Surah Al-Ahzab, verse 33. Also this ayah, بإجماع المفسرين, this is about Zahra alayhi salam. Not about Sunni and Shia. All of them, they said this ayah is about Zahra alayhi salam. Ya Mufassirin, tell us, what is this ayah about? They said this ayah, إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. Allah. This is about Zahra. Now you go to the Mufassirin, some of them from Ahl-Sunnah wal Jama'ah, they mention two places in some of the narrations. They say the ayah was actually revealed in the house of Aisha, the wife of Rasulullah. They said the ayah was revealed in her house, and she quoted Sabab al-Nuzul. Ya Aisha, the wife of the Prophet, how did the ayah get revealed in your house? She said, and it's quoted, she said, Kuntu fi bayti Rasulullah, I was in my house. Fadakhala Rasulullah, the Prophet came to my house. As he came to the house, he asked me a blanket. I brought the blanket. She said, cover me with it. I covered him with it. I said, I was there. Then Imam Hassan came. And then he went under the blanket. Then Imam Hussein came. He went under the blanket. Imam Ali came. He went under the blanket. Zahra came. She went under the blanket. Aisha said, I came forward to be part of the blanket too. And I'm quoting, this is her word. She said, فَقَالَ Rasulullah, the Prophet under the blanket. I said, no, you cannot come in. Anti ala khair, you're a good lady, good woman. All right? But this, you cannot join us. This is from Aisha, is quoted by the Kutub Ahl-Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Good. What happened? After that, Rasulullah says, Allahumma ha'ula'i Ahlul-bayti. These are my family. Right there, Allah sent Jibreel with this verse, إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. Allah. That's one tafsir from the Muslim Mufassirin. That's number one. Number two, another Mufassir said, no. This surah, this ayah was revealed in the house of Salama, another wife of the Prophet. She said, this ayah was revealed in my house. How? She said again the same thing. After Salat al-Asr, the Prophet walked into my house. As he walked in, he asked me, Ya Salama, get me blanket. Similar to what Aisha said, I brought the blanket. He said, covered me with me. I covered the Rasulullah with it. Right after that, Imam al-Hassan, Imam al-Hussein, Imam Ali, al-Zahra. Right after that, she said, I came close. Ya Rasulullah, can I join you? Then the Prophet looked at Salama. He said, no, you're a good lady, but you cannot join us. What happened? Then right after that, Rasulullah spoke to Allah. Ya Allah, ha'ulai Ahlul-bayti. These are my family, my descendant. Then what happened? The ayah was revealed by Jibreel. Ya Rasulullah, Allah is telling me to tell you, إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. This is another ayah, another tafsir from the Ahl-Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Good. Then you come to the Shia, which we know of, about this verse was revealed in the house of Zahra alayhi salam, in the hadith what we call hadith al-Kisa. Good. Now the point is this. Tafsir Fakhr al-Razi comes to make a very important message here. What does he say? He says, when it comes to Ahlul-bayt, the ayah says, إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ عَنْكُمُ الرِّجْسَ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ. He said there is dispute among the Mufassirin. Fakhr al-Razi is saying there are disputes. فَمِنْهُمْ, I quote from Fakhr al-Razi, he says some of the Mufassirin, they say Ahlul-bayt means the wives of the Prophet. Some of them say, no, it's not the wives as well. The family of the Prophet, everyone who is from the descendant of the Prophet, they're part of this Ahlul-bayt. He said, not only that. Some people even said Ahlul-bayt means the companions. There are some people who go to say Ahlul-bayt means the companions. Now, some of us say, no, Ahlul-bayt doesn't mean companions. It means the ummah of the Prophet. All of us, you're part of the Ahlul-bayt. Good. Fakhr al-Razi, he says, okay, but here's the point. The word Ahlul-bayt, there is dispute, but there is a point where Muslims all agreed. This is his word. فَمُتَّفَقٌ وَمُخْتَلَفٌ. There are certain people, when you say Ahlul-bayt, some people say, no, they are not. Some say, yeah, they are. Some say they are. Some say they're not. But there is one group, it says, nobody dispute about them. Fakhr al-Razi says, nobody among the Muslims, among the Mufassirin, nobody dispute about whether they are or not. Ya Fakhr al-Razi, who are those? That nobody dispute about whether they are Ahlul-bayt or not. He said, those individuals are whom? He said, Aliyun wa Fatima wal Hasan wal Hussein. Allahumma salli. So no one among the Mufassirin ever disputed. If you ask any Mufassir, Hal Aliyun, Imam Ali, is a part of the Ahlul-bayt? Nobody dispute that. No, he's not. Now, if you ask anyone, any Mufassir, any companion, Hal is Zahra part of the Ahlul-bayt? Nobody dispute about that. Nobody ever disputed Imam al-Hasan and Hussein, whether they are part or not. But anybody else, everybody dispute whether they are part or not. And that proves that Ayatul Tathir is nothing but Zahra alayhi salam. That is ayah number 3. And number 2. Number 3 is called Surah Al-Kawthar. Inna a'tainaka al-Kawthar. This ayah or this surah also is about Zahra alayhi salam. And this ayah or surah was revealed in Mecca at a time where the Prophet was going through some challenges. And this ayah or this surah, Surah Al-Kawthar, is one of the 3 surahs in the Quran where Allah spoke to only Rasulullah, no third party involved. In the whole Quran, there are 3 surahs Allah spoke to Rasulullah, no third party. One of them is Surah Al-Kawthar. And this surah was revealed at a time where Rasulullah was in Mecca and was going through challenges. What challenges? At the time Rasulullah lost his sons. And the Prophet was going through that grieving. One day, Rasulullah came to Masjid al-Haram, Mecca, to enter Masjid. There was one companion. It's called As bin Wa'il. He was leaving. And some narration, it was opposite. The Prophet was leaving Masjid al-Haram. He was entering the Masjid. They met at the entrance. He spoke to Rasulullah. The Prophet left. And he entered the Masjid. While he was speaking to Rasulullah, there was some of the Quraysh was sitting in the Masjid. They heard him speaking. They heard this As speaking to someone, but they were not sure who was it. When he entered the Masjid, they asked him, we heard you talking. Who were you talking to? This As, he responded, I'm talking to Abtar. Referring to Abtar to whom? To Rasulullah. Say, I'm talking to Abtar. Now, what does it mean, Abtar, in Arabic? Al-Abtar, literally in Arabic, means a camel or animal without a tail. Arabs, when they say Abtar, that's what they mean. Then slowly, they changed the word Abtar to mean what? Any person without sons. Called Abtar. So, Rasulullah didn't have a son, so they called him what? They called him Abtar. That's why the surah Al-Kawthar was revealed because he called Rasulullah Abdul. And brothers and sisters, this surah is very important. Because sometimes our youth, we ask, this is between the parentheses before I come to the point. Many often times we ask, how do I know Islam is the true religion? Because Muslims, we claim we are the true religion. Christians, they claim. What you call Jews, they claim. Everybody claims that. Now, how do I know this book, this Islam, is true religion? I want to give you something tonight to think about. This surah called Surah Al-Kawthar is one of the proof that Islam is really divine religion, no doubt. How do I know that? Now, the surah tells you, this surah talks about Rasulullah, where he was called Abtar. But there are three important messages in this surah. One of them is Allah defending Rasulullah when he was not even there. Number two, Allah promised something in this surah 1,446 years ago, and today we see it today. What is it? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell us through this surah, Ya Rasulullah, you were not there when you were called Abtar. Ya Rasul, how did you know that you were called Abtar? Was there anybody there who texted Rasulullah? Somebody was sitting in the masjid, heard it, say, Ya Rasulullah, this guy is calling you Abtar. Huh? Oh no, somebody sent Rasulullah email. Ya Rasulullah, he's calling you Abtar. Then Rasulullah came to know. Oh no, somebody sent the Prophet screenshot or voice message on WhatsApp. So Rasulullah came to know. No, there was none of that. Ya Rasulullah, you were not there. You left. How did you come to know that somebody was talking ill about you? Divine message told him. And what that means, this man called Rasulullah, he is linked with the Alamul Ghaib, unseen world, to tell him about what is happening during his absence. That itself is a sign that the Prophet is a true messenger. Number two, this ayah or this surah also talks about what? About the future, what's going to happen. Well, we were not there. We were not even born. We were not even created at that time. Allah told Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, watch and see. Inna shani'aka huwal. He calls you after, you stay and watch. He is after, not you. Two things right here. Your enemy will die without a lineage. You will live and die, and your lineage will continue to Yawm al-Qiyamah. Today, can you see that, what Quran says? Today, ask Ibn Wa'il, who made that comment. Ya Ibn Wa'il, Allah told us, Inna shani'aka huwa al-abtar. Today, can anyone in the world say, I'm the lineage of Ibn Wa'il today? Can you find it? No. And then what Quran said over 1,000 years ago is true. That promise of Allah over 1,000 years ago, today we see that. Number two, Ya Rasulullah, Allah told you now, don't worry about him. You will have lineage who will survive till the day of Qiyamah. Today, do we have Sayyids across the world or not? Today, you look in the world, every corner of the earth, there are people say, I'm a Sayyid. From descendant of the Prophet. Not one, not two, not three. Every corner of the earth, today there are Sayyids. Allahumma salli. That is the ayah. Allah promised Rasulullah that, Ya Rasulullah, you will die and your lineage will flourish across the world. Today go to Pakistan, go to India, go to Iran, go to Afghanistan, go to Iraq, go to Africa. Every corner of the earth, there are many thousands and thousands. Not only they say it, they're proudly being said. This is the promise of Quran, where Allah told Rasulullah, don't listen to what they say. He is Abtar, not you. That itself is a sign that this religion is a true religion. It promised over 1,000 years ago, and today we're witnessing that promise from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the point here is this surah, Inna a'ataynaka al-kawthar, the word kawthar, what does it mean? Ijma al-mufassirin, many mufassirin brought different meaning. Some of them say al-kawthar means Quran. Some of them say al-kawthar means what? Kathratu sahaba. You will have the most majority of companions. Some say no, the word al-kawthar means what? Family. Some say al-kawthar is a river in Jannah. And the list goes on. But then one out of the many tafasir says, Inna a'ataynaka al-kawthar. Al-kawthar bima'na Fatimiya al-Zahra alayha afdalu salatu wassalam. That Rasulullah was told by Allah, Ya Rasulullah, we gave you a woman, a lady called Fatima. She will be the one that your lineage will continue with her, and it will continue to the day of Qiyamah. And today we see them. And this Kawthar is about Zahra alayhi salam. This is how great this woman is. But then what happened after Rasulullah? With Quran telling us about how great Zahra is. In all these surahs, these verses, these surahs, what happened to Zahra? Zahra herself tells you what happened to her. That Zahra, after Rasulullah, she did not taste anything called happy life. After her father Rasulullah, the tragedy starts one after the other. One of the tragedy of Zahra, they would not even let her to mourn for the death of her father. Imagine, you lose a dear one, like Rasulullah, and you want to cry for losing a prophet, a father, and the Muslims comes and say, you are disturbing our peace. They even went to Imam Ali alayhi salam. They told Imam Ali, can you do something about Zahra? She's disturbing our peace. Imam Ali alayhi salam has to build another home, another place called Baytul Ahzan, where Zahra can go there and cry to mourn for her father. Can you imagine what Zahra went through? Even simple as her father, she was not allowed to mourn freely the way she deserved. Not only that, after her father, Zahra alayhi salam, was put in so much. One of them, her right was deprived from her. The right that Rasulullah gave her, she was denied. And that is why, as Zahra alayhi salam, in her own words, she described her tragedies. And she says, as she was talking to Rasulullah, her father, he says, Subbat alayya masa'ibun. My father, I have been poured on tragedies and trials. لو أنها صبت على الأيام, if those tragedies were to be taken and put on the days, صرنا ليالي. The days cannot handle it. The days would have turned to nights. Can you imagine what Zahra is talking about? Zahra alayhi salam, she's telling Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, I have been afflicted with that much tragedies after you. And how long are we talking about? Talking about a matter of 6 months after Rasulullah. And Rasulullah is witnessing his daughter going through it. Ya Rasulullah, how many children did you leave? In case we had one, others, no, I left one and only one. And this is how the ummah turned to treat her. To the point where Zahra alayhi salam, today no Muslim can point to her grave and say Zahra is buried here. Zahra is the only daughter of Rasulullah. Today, if you ask all Muslims, Ya Rasulullah, you have sons, you have children, where are they buried? I say, yes, I can tell you, Jannatul Mu'alla, Tahir is buried there, Abdullah is buried there. You go to Medina, my other son is buried there, called Ibrahim. Ya Rasulullah, tell us, where is your daughter Zahra is buried? No Muslim can point where Zahra was buried. Why? Because Zahra said, I want my grave to speak about my tragedy. Ya Zahra, what do you mean? It is mentioned that the night of martyrdom, Zahra sat her husband Imam Ali alayhi salam, and she told him the list of things she want and expect from her husband. You know what she said? She said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, you know, since I lived with you all my life, all these years that we lived together, I have never disobeyed you even one time. Imam Ali said, of course, you never did. Ya Zahra, not only that, I said, you have never ever did anything to anger me. What a woman, huh? She said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, I'm going to depart from this world very soon. But I have a bunch of lists I want you to do for me. Imam Ali said, Dandil, what do you want? You know what is the first in the list? Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, after I pass, I want you to remarry. Get another wife. Ya Zahra, why are you talking about another wife? She said, I want my children to have a mother. I know when I'm gone, that place will be empty. Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, marry someone who can be like a mother to them. At least they have someone in the house they can look up to. They can call a mother. You know, Imam Ali busted into tears. Hearing a woman, a wife such as Zahra is telling him this, Imam Ali couldn't stop crying. After crying and crying, Imam Ali alayhi salam said, what else can I do for you, Zahra? He said, Ya Rasul, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, when I pass, I want you to perform ghusl on my body. Dandil, what else? He said, but I know Rasulullah, after he died, there is hanut, the camphor that was brought from heaven, which we use for the Prophet. After my death, I want you to use on me the left of those camphor. Imam Ali busted into tears. Zahra was crying. Not only that, then she said to Imam Ali alayhi salam, he said, after that, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, I want you to kafan me. I want you to pray on my body. Then after that, I want you to be the one to put me in my grave. You say, what else, Ya Zahra? All of this will be done. Zahra said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, I have one extra request. What is it? She said, after my death, after my martyrdom, I want you to come to my grave every night to read me Surah Yasin and Surah As-Safat. I want you to come to my grave. Right there to read it. Imam Ali alayhi salam says, Zahra, done deal, I will do that. What happened? The narration said that after the martyrdom of Zahra alayhi salam, one night Imam Ali left and he went to the grave. As he was there reading Surah Yasin and Safat, the narration said, أَخَذَتُهُ الْغَفْوَةُ. Imam Ali and just took him for that moment. And that moment he saw Zahra alayhi salam, but he saw her in tears and crying. Imam Ali alayhi salam said to her, Ya Ya Zahra, why are you crying? You asked me to do exactly what I'm doing, and I'm doing exactly that what you asked me. Zahra alayhi salam, she said to him, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, from tonight on, don't come to my grave and read Surah Yasin and Safat. You can read it anywhere you want, but don't come to my grave. Imam Ali asked, Ya Zahra, why are you lifting this responsibility when you are the same person told me? She said, yes, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, while you are here, Imam al-Hasan and Hussein, they just woke up and they ran to the room to see where is their mother. And Zahra is not there. And where is Imam Ali? He was not there either. So there is no mother, no father. They felt as orphans. That has broken my heart, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. She said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, from tonight onwards, stay with Hassan and Hussein. Be with them. At least having you there at night and giving them comfort. And that give me some comfort too. Imam Ali alayhi salam, he rushed to the house, and as he walked into the house, فَإِذَا بِالْحَسَنِ وَالْحُسَيْنِ, they're standing at the door and looking right and left. Where is the father? Where is the mother? Imam Ali alayhi salam hugged them and he held them. He said, I'm here, Ya Hassan and Hussein. I'm back at home, Ya Hassan and Hussein. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين. يا حسين، يا حسين.